Hello and welcome back to another new edition of Windows on Current Affairs, and today we keep our comprehensive look over the course of sustainable development, the vision of 2030 and 2063 according to the directives of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. And ever since Egypt have assumed or attained the chairmanship of the African Union earlier before, it has been promoting, Egypt have been promoting for the goals of sustainable development, the 17 goals, and focusing over the vision of 2030 and stretching its hands to other African countries to collaborate together and make our world a better one. Of course, we all know there are very, very pressing issues amongst that 17 goals. On top of them is poverty, scarcity of water, and empowering women and enforcing women and children, and climate change and pollution. These are the main pressing issues, and the rest of the 17 are also equally important, but Egypt is working tooth and nail over those pressing issues, and we have come a long way, of course. Today we're going to be talking about the course of sustainable development with one of the youth who is in her own right. She is an expert, sustainable development expert, Mrs. Radwa Rady, a sustainable development expert. She's here with me, and she's going to be talking about her vision of the goals of sustainable development and the vision of 2030, according, of course, to Egypt's vision. Good evening, Mrs. Rady. And
good evening, Mrs. Dina.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you so much.
Let us first talk about how you people are assessing the vision of 2030 and its priorities. Of course, there are 17 goals, but there are priorities when we talk about these goals. The priorities are taken according to a time factor. Of course, there is an importance to all issues, but there is a priority importance to pressing issues that should be achieved right now in order to reach a good sustainable development vision in 2030.
Okay, so first we look at the external factors or the external atmosphere that Egypt faces, and we see that there are many unprecedented circumstances, like the COVID-19 pandemic on one hand, and the issue of water security on the other hand. So we assess the priorities of our agenda in Egypt based on the circumstances and based on what is going on in real life. So I think that Egypt is going places. I think that it was very pragmatic for President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi that he took the initiative to start with focusing on those core issues that are affecting the rest of the goals and the rest of the agenda. Because if we look at the 17 goals of Egypt, for instance, in 2018, before the pandemic issue, and we look at the agenda now, we will see that it's of the utmost important to first stress or to first focus on overcome the issues that are affecting the agenda itself, or the core or the functions of the agenda, in order to reach the 17 goals in 2030, inshallah.
Inshallah. From your own point of view, what are the most pressing issues when it comes to the goals of 2030 in order to reach a better 2030? Okay,
in my point of view, and I'm speaking on behalf of many youth, I think that education is the most important issue.
Totally agree.
Because it reflects on the other.
course.
If we have a good education, then people will be able to understand or to have a good awareness on the environmental issues, on the health issues. We will then be able to teach, for instance, everyone how can we make use of this vase مثلا, and how we can from one element or one issue or one goal reach the other in order to reach the all 17 goals at the end.
Of course, when we talk about education, we talk about so many things. We talk about awareness, we talk about culture, we talk about security, we could talk about ideologies, because education is the shield that protects people to fall into the trap of too many things that are not amicable. How is your assessment of the file of education, and from your own point of view as an expert, what is supposed to be taken as steps to be able to develop with that particular important file to reach a better 2030?
I think that Egypt is taking a very serious steps and a very advanced steps on the issue of the equality of education, and it's the most important point, or the most important we can say aspect in order to improve our quality of life. So I think that Egypt is stressing on improving the curriculum or the material that the children are taking in schools, and as we all know that youth are the future, and then this is the starting point in my own point of view, in order to improve the other levels of education, the middle level of education, and of course the higher level of education. So I think that the quality of the contents.
Sure. We are going to go to a short break, and we'll come to continue with Radwa about the rest of the other pressing issue, and continue also about the file of education, so stay with us. Welcome back. We're still taking a close look over the vision of 2030 and the most pressing issues in the Sustainable Development Goals. And with us is Radwa Rady, and she's a sustainable development expert. She was just talking about education and its importance to, in order to develop with generations, to develop with the economic development, political, social, and every aspect of the nation. Radwa, you were just talking about education, and you were talking about the importance of founding a solid ground for that particular file to empower the new generations, not only by education, by inserting cultural elements inside that particular dose of education that you give to youth and you give to children, not youth, let us put it that way. And the importance of awareness also, because education without awareness, it could be a two-sided weapon. We have seen developed countries, people who are highly educated, but they have no awareness. They are biased. They are racist sometimes. I'm not going to mention names of countries, but in some countries, it might go to the extent of killing other people because of their color, or because of their race, or because of their religion. In Egypt, we don't have that. So it is not the element of education in its own right as much as it's an element, the contents of the file of education. How important is it?
Okay, like you mentioned, there's a huge gap, or we might say, difference between education and when we make kids or youth realize things. Education means that I'm having a certain points, or I'm having a certain content, and I just give youth or give the children this type of break.
You mean a curricula?
Yes.
The curricula of the
Yes.
education.
However, on the other hand, we make people, we need to make youth realize or recognize that there is a huge gap between realizing. No, sorry.
Realizing.
Yes.
Yes. That's true.
Yes, between realizing what has to be done and taking the initiative to implement it. There is a huge gap.
That's
So
true.
in Egypt, we need in our education. We need in our education
Curriculums?
Yes.
The curriculums
to
that
make-
we have.
Yes, to make people or to make youth realize how to implement things, like what are the functions,
tools?
What are the tools? Yes, yes.
So you mean the tools of the curricula, of each curricula, and a bunch of curriculums are important to be regulated in a way so that cultural elements should be inserted.
Yes, of course.
And also awareness.
Yes, awareness. Yes.
And this is what President Abdel Fattah Sisi have been calling for. And on top of them is reforming the religious discourse. That particular thing is very important, because ideologies, if they do not change, no matter how well you are educated, you will remain the same. And this is one thing that Egypt has realized after June 30th, and have set a role model to the whole world, that with effecting our principles of reforming our religious discourse, things are going to move into a whole, we're going to go to a whole new level.
Yes.
Right, but let us talk about the strategies of sustainable development. Do strategies of sustainable development differ from one country to the other?
Yes, sure. We can't, for example, take the approach of Libya and go and implement it in Egypt. We have different elements. We have different resources. We have different quality of life. Libya is in a state of war, but Egypt is not. So we need to formulate our plan,
customize
in accordance. Yes, in accordance to the existing
to the requirements of each country.
Yes, sure.
How do you think, if we are people, you as experts for attaining the goals of sustainable development, and we're supposed to stretch our hands to neighboring countries, because also Libya is of a very strategic location to neighboring countries, among them is Egypt. How are we supposed to regulate priorities of sustainable development according to countries like Libya, countries like Yemen, countries like Iraq, and our country? I mean, how do these things work?
Okay, I think that countries like Libya, like Yemen, like Iraq, they are considered as failed states. They are not full states according to the state of war and the civil war and the state of war in such states. So we need first to prioritize the agenda or the plan in order to first end the state of war and to reach peace and to reach a sustainable peace as there's many conflicting parties. So first we need to end the state of war and then start with
a program that is fit.
Yes, with prioritizing what should be done first. If we are meant to first focus on the poverty sector, the food security sector, and so on and so forth, in order to start build the state from the beginning and then
from scratch,
right, and then reach the 17 goals of sustainable development.
That is for countries in conflict.
Yes.
What about a developed country, already developed like Egypt? Egypt have come a long way, and we have not only effected development in a very short time in our country, but also have set a role model, have set an example of success to other developed countries, because we have effected revolutionary projects like infrastructural projects, like educational projects, investment projects, building a new republic, a whole new republic, a new capital in no time. So when it comes to Egypt, how could the roadmap be coming to a change? I mean, the strategies of sustainable development, like someone who have really acquired a wonderful makeup, a total makeup.
Yes.
Someone who needed a makeup and he had acquired it in very little time and worked hard on himself so that he has reached an excellent level and still have to maintain that makeup.
Yes. I think the key element in Egypt is how we can make use or make the most use of our resources, and not only what we have of like the capital or the intangible stuff. I mean, how we can make the most of our minds, the most of our youth, and the most of
invest
our
on human
yes.
Resources.
Exactly. Yes. Instead of immigration and traveling to other places, or and traveling to Gulf and European states in order to have a much better
job opportunity.
Yes. So the key element here is how to make the most out of our resources in order to, as you said, maintain that makeup and reach a better stage or a better place in our plan or in our agenda and vision 20.
And it's a pride. It's a pride to notice. It's a real pride for every Egyptian to notice that the phenomena of immigrating have almost disappeared. I mean, how many times in earlier years we have been listening and here and there in media outlets about the problem of, low-income brackets reaching out to job opportunities outside Egypt and this, but now we don't hear. But on the contrary, we keep hearing that we are receiving people from abroad and coming for job opportunities over here, and also receiving other nationalities like Syrians, like other nationalities and Iraqis and all that, and getting their business here and establishing, even European people coming over, people from Eastern Europe coming over here to establish business and find good opportunities, job opportunities. So in that domain, you have worked on a Peace Leaders magazine. What is the story about that particular sustainable development magazine that you have done in collaboration with the Ministry of Solidarity? Tell me the story.
Okay, so first, as youth, we thought that we need a more solid and يعني a better a better vision to help or to work in association with the government of the state in order to reach those visions in a much better way and in a fast way also. So as one of the establishers of this like initiative, we thought that raising awareness among youth is the one, or is the key element in order to associate our path with the path of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. And then we started not only to work on a local level. We thought that it's gonna be huge if we had participants from other states. We have from Libya, we have from Tunisia, we have from Sudan, and we thought that we are going to do investigations to write about certain goals, and to give the policymakers and to give the people,
inspire policymakers.
Yes.
We're going to go to another short break, and we'll come to continue with Mrs. Radwa about her vision, and she's also the editor-in-chief of this magazine, but later after the short break, so stay with us. Welcome back, and we're still with Radwa. Radwa, what were we talking about your incredible, inspiring magazine? You just mentioned a word that you are attempting to inspire governmental bodies by your ideas, by your initiatives, by raising particular issues and issues of awareness. You are the editor-in-chief.
Yes.
So how do you do that?
Okay. I start with prioritizing the issues that Egypt have to focus on, and then start with allocating the content of the magazine with the other team, and then start on going starting to implement those thoughts or those ideas on real life, by going back to the Minister of Social,
Dr. Nabin Kobesh.
Yes.
By the way, she's a very active minister.
Yes, he's a very
an excellent one.
Yes.
Tell us as an example, what steps have you taken with the minister? Have you signed a protocol? Have you already presented an initiative to her and asked her with the collaboration of the ministry? What did you exactly do?
Not yet. We didn't sign anything on paper yet. However, we are working on this step, inshallah. However, we are considering our reports and our investigations as the planning, the theoretical aspect of our plan, in order to inspire her to take into consideration those thoughts and those ideas, and start to implement it in real life.
As an example, what did you suggest?
We thought about an initiative. We didn't settle on the name yet. However, we thought about teaching people how to make use of plastic water bottles in their homes, in order to make them like a very good product that could be sold and get paid back, and then by doing so, we will reach three important goals of SDGs. We will protect the environment on a level, and then we will get we will achieve the economic goal, and then also we will have reached a very good steps in the education sector, or in the education goal as well.
So are these bottles, I mean, recycled? Or
yes,
they are recycled.
Yes.
Is there someone who initiated that idea, an inventor who really manufactured this bottle and suggested it to the Ministry of Solidarity?
No, us.
I mean, does it exist, or it's just an idea?
No. We already took steps. We already gathered like kids and even youth,
volunteers.
Yes, and even youth at my age, and we started to gather those bottles and recycle them in a very good way, and then we had an exhibit to sell those bottles. Yes, again. And it was a very successful step.
But this would require a lot of elements, like an industry, like finance, like how did you do? I mean, if I'm going to recycle, then I have to press it under certain temperature so that I can sanitize it because of the pollution and the dirt.
No, it's done at home.
Really?
Yes.
That's a very smart idea.
Yes. It's done at home with a very simple tools, and they like cut the
top.
Yes, cut the top, and then make smoking trays of it. They make like a very
useful. I mean,
yes,
resourceful ideas.
Yes,
so you just recycle it into other
products
that could be used, but not drinking.
No.
It could be an ashtray.
Yes.
It could be something that I use it over here, or a clip.
It could be a vase. It could be a mobile case. It could be
but still I have to sanitize it. I mean, I have to press it so that it could be usable again, according to the regulations of the Ministry of Health and the FDA also.
I don't think so. We did it, and it was very successful. We didn't need to press it. We didn't need to do anything at all. We
just washed it with soap and water.
Yes.
Okay. And do you have other ideas?
Yes, sure. In the next issue, we are focusing on the issue of domestic violence between men and women, and we have this idea of having public campaigns, especially between especially between
for the sake of the new generations and kids.
Yes. Yes, and we are also working on having like a free psychiatrist sessions for youth who are affected by the harmful domestic violence experience also as well.
That's very good. So you are setting awareness campaigns?
Yes, we are setting awareness campaigns, and we are also writing about those campaigns, writing articles, writing reports and investigations in the magazine.
So you are also doing a survey about the violence and or domestic violence and the challenges that meet or domestic challenges inside families and its impact over children and the future generation, and setting some suggestions or presenting suggestions for this violence.
Yes.
Have you also taken other steps? I think we have with us a live a phone call live, Dr. Muhammad Salah, an expert of sustainable development. Good evening, Dr. Salah.
Yes, I hear you well, and I'd like to welcome you and your great audience.
Fine, sir. We were talking about the strategies of sustainable development when it, as it differs from one country to the other. Is there any difference in strategies of sustainable developments? They are 17 goals, but does it differ from one country to another?
Well, first of all, we have to know that SDG goals are all applicable for all the world, for all nations and all countries in the world. And we have to know that these policies or strategies are adopted to achieve three main points. The first is economical, and the second is social, and the third and the main important part of this is environmental, to face the changes or the climate changes that is happening in the world, facing carbon impression which is happening. So I think this is a great and a main basic line that could be applied for many or for any countries or for any countries, and the main target of each country is to choose what is useful for it and which will be applicable for it and for its nature, for its people, for its economy. So this is the main goal of any state now, is to do this in the main base of the baseline for this country.
Yes. If we talk about the necessity of joint cooperation and solidarity amongst the countries of each continent to be able to achieve the goals of sustainable development, what would you say?
I'd like to say that the solidarity of each continent, of each nation is a basic step in order to achieve such goals. First of all, sustainable development is I think it's a culture. This culture should be spread among the people. The people must know what is the meaning of sustainable development, what is the goals he is looking for. And we have to create interest, a shared interest between the country and its people to achieve these goals. In other words, the main idea or the main purpose of this SDG goals is to accompany or to share this content or this strategy with the people. Because of the people will be the most part of the benefits will be on the people of each country. So they have to work to each other in order to achieve these benefits for both the people and the country. This couldn't be achieved without any solidarity, without any shared knowledge, without any shared benefit examples. These are main ideas should be available for both for country and for the people in the same time.
Right. What do you think is the main, goals or issues, pressing issues for Egypt in order to reach the vision of 2030 right now?
Right now, the most important part of this strategy for Egypt is the agriculture subjects, which are providing Egyptians with the food and with the water. And I think we are now witnessing a very strong issue that's being fulfilled between Egypt and Ethiopia, and third issue. In Egypt also we have a challenge in the digital transformation, which is carried out now by the Egyptian government. In Egypt also we have to achieve gender equity. We have to achieve or to face or to reduce the carbon radiation. All of these ideas and all of these very important subjects are now fulfilled in Egypt, and we have already what we are calling a national plan and national projects. Many of them are now fulfilled in Egypt to achieve these goals, and we have many of the projects, such as moving the cars in Egypt from petrol to natural gas. We're also spreading in renewable energy. We are now spreading on manufacturing electrical cars. All of these ideas are fulfilled in order to achieve three goals. We have also the green cities. We are moving forward many steps in the field of a green economy. The green economy is now have a very strong effect in the Egyptian economy. Now we have another transformation is carried out now from the traditional economy to the green economy at the same time, and we have to know how to lead this transformation in order to achieve these the benefits that will be carried out from such projects.
Right, Dr. Muhammad Salah, a sustainable development expert, would like to thank you, sir, so much. Unfortunately, we ran out of time, but I've really enjoyed listening to the very valuable points that you have said. On a promise that you could come again on another edition of Windows and Current Affairs. Mrs. Radwan, you are a sustainable development expert. Best of luck to you. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much.
And I guess this would bring us to the end of this edition. Many thanks to all of you. Until we see you again next week. That's a goodbye.